Hey guys, what's up? My name's Riley. Welcome to my channel. I usually say welcome back because I have another channel, but as of right now, this is my channel. So anyways, welcome. And today, this video is all about ADHD and understanding whether or not you have it. Ah yes, silly me, giving you a topic that is very serious for the very first video of this channel. Ah, classic. Exactly like me. So, we're talking about understanding ADHD, how it works, and as you can see, I am fidgeting, so we might as well talk about this right now. And I'm just fidgeting with a hair tie. If it's like a toy, I'll link it in my Amazon, but this is just a hair tie. If you want a link to my hair ties, I will give it to you, but I have a feeling you don't want that. So, very short intro, yay. My intros are usually 1,000 seconds long. Okay, so fidgeting is our first symptom, but first let's understand ADHD, which, just FYI, if you're constantly jumping around topics like me that I'm doing right now in this video, you might have ADHD. Don't tell anyone you might have ADHD. You might have ADHD. Go get it checked. Anyway. So, now that we're doing this, I'm still fidgeting with this, as you can see. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, and traditionally, it means you have trouble paying attention, you fail to notice things, you're fidgeting, and you can overpower topics with your interest, and you can bounce around several things, and there's basically nothing to it. A disorder, see, and you can also take a while to process things. A disorder that makes you hyper, makes you act like you're 2 years old when you might be an adult. So, brings us to our first symptom. We're going to talk about symptoms, okay? Because I have a feeling you, my friend, through this camera, might have ADHD. Okay? So we're going to talk about this together. Okay, first symptom, fidgeting. Very straightforward. You find random objects to fidget with, sometimes even your body, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. One thing that I have is gnawing. So sometimes these hair ties, usually scrunchies, not these hair ties, will end up in my mouth, and then 20 seconds later, I don't even know that I'm chewing on it, but the entire thing is stuffed in my mouth. And I don't know that I'm chewing on it. I know it's gross, but it happens all the friggin' time. Yes, it does. I promise you. I just start chewing on it, and then randomly later, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's in my mouth. I need to take that out of my mouth. Anyways, so fidgeting, pretty straightforward. You can have different types of fidgeting, but fidgeting, straightforward, you fidget with something and don't even always realize you're doing it. Next, let's talk about trailing. Trailing is an ADHD symptom that goes so hard on me specifically. I can never say it. Specifically. I think I said it. Okay, we're trailing. Oh my gosh, we can't do this. We're not trailing in this video, okay? Okay. So, trailing is, you might have already noticed by me hinting out that I was trailing in this video. Yes, you with the smart brain. But trailing is basically where you start talking about one thing or thinking about one thing, and that one thing reminds you of another thing, which reminds you of another thing, and another thing, and another thing, until you have absolutely no clue how you got to the thought in your head. Yes. So, for example, you could be talking about apple pie with your friend. You're talking about apple pie. Apple pie is delicious. And now I'm thinking about apple crisp. Perfect example of trailing. Anyway, we're not trailing. We're not doing it. We're giving an example. We're not actually doing it. Okay, so you're talking about apple pie with your friend. And then you remember that apple pie has cinnamon. And then you remember that your Uncle Bob has a cinnamon farm. And then you remember that your Uncle Bob has a puppy. And then you remember that puppy is a golden retriever. And then you remember that you have a piece of gold jewelry. Then you remember that that piece of jewelry has a butterfly on it. Then you remember that your Aunt Ruth took you to a butterfly garden 2 summers ago. Trailing explained very simply. So it's basically doing that. And then someone asks you, why are you so random? And you're like, it's not random. I just thought of this and this and this. It's a very, very bad thing to have, as you can see. But ADHD, although it has its curses, it does not come without its superpowers. So, one superpower is being able to jump around topics very easily. I know that sounds like impossible, like you start doing one task and then you don't finish it, you do another and another and another and it just keeps going. Yes, that's hard. Because you'll start one thing and then not finish the other. But guess what? You might know everything in the world. Yes, did you know that? Oh, I started sewing about a week ago. Now I'm doing crafting. Oh, which reminds me, I can make you a book. Oh, and I'm also really good at essays because when I was little, I wrote books. Oh, did I mention that I know how to make my own paper? Mind blown. You know everything in the universe. Obviously, this doesn't happen to everyone, but usually with ADHD, it's very common that you get a fixation hobby, which leads us to another thing, fixations. I will stare at this hair tie for an entire minute to see if it will come alive and then go BAM! Oh my gosh! How long was I staring at this hair tie? I don't know! Okay, so hyperfixations are basically, it can be looking at something, it can be a hobby where you're basically so fully into it and then like after a while you're just like, I'm done with this and move on to the next thing. I'm telling you, ADHD, it's crazy. It's crazy. Can you see how aggressively I am talking to you, the camera? Yes. My eyeballs are blasting out of my head. This room is really... Stop trailing. By the way, I was going to say this room was really echoey. Maybe I was talking really loud. Oh well. Also, just FYI, when I seem like I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking into the viewfinder. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking into the viewfinder. I'm trying to look into the camera, though, because we're trying to be good Samaritans. Yes, we are. Okay. Now we gotta talk about... What were we gonna talk about? Oh, yes, we were going to talk about forgetting things. I added that in for humor. I forgot that we were talking about forgetting things. Okay, so you set your hair tie down. Why am I using this hair tie as an example for everything? Probably because it's in my hand. Okay, so you set your hair tie down. Then your mom starts calling you for dinner. You remind yourself, okay, we need to get this hair tie off the counter so I can braid my hair before bed. I do that sometimes. I braid my hair before bed so it won't be tangled in the morning. But set this hair tie down. You say, okay, time for dinner. And then later you're like, oh wait, I have to take a bath tonight. You go take your bath. And then you start screaming at a random moment, where is my hair tie? And then you look all over the entire house. You look under your bed. And then you remember, oh, it's in the bathroom. Right where I was in the beginning. It happens all the time. Anyways, thanks for watching my video about ADHD. Please jump on over to my poll if you want another video and if you want to have an opinion in what happens in the next video. I love you guys so much. Go to your doctor if you think you have ADHD, because ADHD can be mimicking other things. Also, if you think you might have autism or depression or anxiety, I'll make videos on that too. But one more thing you need to know before you go is ADHD, especially in young children, can sometimes mimic autism, depression, and anxiety. Mind blown. mind blown. Anyways, so it can mimic other things, so keep that in mind. If you're struggling with something a little different, I'll make videos on those disorders in the future. I'm sorry, I just stuttered. I have a really bad stutter, ADHD. Anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.